You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.
Here we go.
Oh, hey.
Yes, I know.
Are we on?
Yes, we are. Good morning.
Good morning. I know.
Oh, no, actually, yeah. Chill out.
You've seen the view. You've heard all the real talk. Now
think
have
we're
a seat
on.
at our table. A table for
It's
five.
been a long morning. Just gotta get this thing out my ear so I can hear.
Yes. Yes, so there we are. There we are again.
We are.
Well, we have been on. You've been watching us, and you've been listening to us.
Yes.
And everything, yes. But here we are. Good morning, everyone. Welcome.
Good
Welcome
morning.
to Table for Five. Good Wednesday morning.
Good Wednesday morning, yes.
Is it the 24th?
It is.
Okay.
It is all day.
Okay. But it's not Monday.
No. It's today. Oh, Jesus. I'll get it right one day. I do these scripts.
I love it.
I
love
know.
it. We have to start posting the scripts because before it was 2019. Now we're on.
Now Mondays are Wednesdays. We're here. It's
so
Wednesday,
fun.
October 24th,
Yes,
2018. Yes, it is.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Welcome to, I was about to say welcome to The View. We are not The View. I was watching The View last night. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I am just all messed up today. It's a special kind of day here in Los
Yes.
Angeles and Table for Five. But yes, you are here watching and listening Table for Five. Where
Yes.
you, the listening and viewing audience, will always have a seat right here at this
Yes.
table. So welcome every morning. Good morning. We are getting started here where you can find us here all the time, Mondays and Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yes.
Here in the lovely city of Los Angeles. Lots going on
Yeah,
today.
I know the world is.
And we don't do hot topics really anymore, but I am like,
This is a doozy, but we're gonna get. We have a good show today.
yes, we do.
And
Excellent show.
Huh?
An excellent show.
We have an excellent show. I know. I'm really excited about it. But we want to let everybody know how to always follow us and know where we're at all times, and do our little housekeeping that we do every show, which is to catch us on all our social media platforms, which are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and our website, which I like to call our one-stop shop.
Yes.
So if you go on our website, which is table for five, which is table-for-5.com. We're going to get it together at some point today. And you can find out all the information on where we've been, where we're going, and our former shows and our former guests, and links to those shows and to our guests. But more importantly, we have an Advertise With Us tab. And if you'd like, if you have anything you want to promote, a business, an event, or you want to market, you have an opportunity to do that here with us. And so when you go to Advertise With Us, there's like a list of tiers of opportunities, and then you put your information, and someone very professional will contact you. But more importantly, we have a newsletter that goes out twice a week with all the information that pertains to every show, and also any tidbit or information that we're honoring that month. This month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Last month was Hispanic Heritage Month. And so you get all the information that pertains to that month, along with the show and the guests and their links, and anything else that we are up to or doing. So if you want to be a part of our newsletter, go to the contact and just put your email. That's all.
That's all.
We
Very
don't need
easy.
anything else from you. Is your email address. Do that, and then very quickly you'll start receiving our newsletters. And
Just two newsletters.
two newsletters,
Quite
and if you get annoyed by us, you can unsubscribe. But you wouldn't, because they're really great and they're quite
they have
informative.
so much information in
Yeah.
them. Like, even when I received them, I'm like, oh, wow. I
I
didn't
know.
know that. Wow, that was a good, like, Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah, right?
We were getting a lot of great little information.
yes,
And
yes.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month, there's a lot of great little tidbits. So even we, the hosts,
I
of this
know
show,
we
learn
get
something from our own newsletters.
Yes,
Isn't
so
that fantastic?
it's a wonderful little tidbit about our show that in addition to what we do, you get the newsletter, and it's just really great. So
Absolutely.
just that way you stay connected with us. Yeah,
Yes.
subscribe.
And who doesn't want to stay connected to
I
Table for Five with
know.
Felicia and Annette? Also, did I mention I'm Felicia
And
she's
I'm Annette. Yeah, exactly.
I forgot that part. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday. It's a lot
Yes.
going on. And also, too, if you want to call into the show today, if you received the newsletter and you know what we're talking about,
Yes.
There's some little visuals here to kind of entice you. Can we see them?
Yes,
Right
we can, but
here.
I'm gonna move this over a little more because Chiron is blocking.
Yeah, so we can see it. So
I'm gonna put
you might be able to know what's going on, what's happening. And if you have any questions for our lovely guests, we're still kind of awaiting one to
Yeah.
arrive. She's just going to jump on in
Yes.
here. and I think she's on
She's
her
here.
way.
She's here.
Yes.
She's going to slip on
But
in.
if you guys
and
have if you guys have any questions, which hopefully you do for Dr. Cozette White.
Yes.
She's been a guest before too, and so you guys will recognize her. But the number to call in is 818-570-5085. Again, 818-570-5085. That's the number to call in if we have questions.
Or we're
this
actually,
morning.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are on Facebook Live right now.
Yep.
So you can go to at Felicia and Annette at Table for Five, and you could, people are already leaving great comments and hello.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, Shai. So you can leave questions about anything that we're talking. If you don't want to call, you could just type shoot us a question, and we'll make sure if I look down quick enough to make sure we get you an answer to
a reminder.
Yeah, I know. I'm really I get invested in the conversation, and then I forget. Oh, we have all these comments. Oops, sorry, but we won't do that today.
It's all good. Yes,
it's all good.
Yes. So good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
We are all, the
everyone.
table is full.
The table
Yes,
is
yes,
full
yes.
today. So I'm going to introduce the show's topic this morning. Today's show is full of information and inspiration.
Yes.
We have special guest Shaiann Hogan, who's here to my left. I'm going to give you a little applause right there. You can't hear it.
Yeah.
Give you a little
Going out to the
applause.
airwaves.
And Dr. Cozette White. Give you a little round of applause. Good morning. Friend of Table for Five.
Yes.
She's back with us.
Yes.
And our show topic today is Jumpstart, Our Path to Financial Planning and Freedom.
Yeah,
That's
and
a
that's
great topic. Yes.
I know.
I think it's a really good time of the year to be talking about
Yes.
it too, because a lot of people want to get into their finances and stuff in the beginning of the year, like in January or whatever, for whatever reason. And I think everyone is in holiday mode, and we're about to be in spending
mode. Yeah.
And we need to be conscious and aware that we cannot go crazy in this spending mode of the holiday season.
That is right.
So I think this is the perfect time to have this conversation today. But in case you don't remember or don't know Dr. White, I'm going to give you a little intro to her.
Yes.
Dr. White is an acclaimed best-selling author, nationally recognized finance and tax strategist, international speaker, and philanthropist. Dr. White has been coined the financial physician. She'll diagnose and prescribe the right financial prescription for boosting your financial health. Dr. White is the founder and CEO of My Financial Home Enterprises, a global financial consultancy firm providing comprehensive accounting, tax, and financial management services for businesses and individuals. Located in Oxnard, California, Dr. White's advice has been called upon by ABC and Fox television stations. She has been featured on the numerous radio shows and reoccurring voice to millions, making regular appearances in various national media outlets, including Black Enterprise, Forbes, Women of Wealth, Upscale, The Huffington Post, and countless newspapers across the country. Women of Wealth dubbed White Wealth Builders Extraordinaire. Dr. White was awarded the President's Lifetime Achievement Award by President Barack Obama. What an honor. Wow. As the author of Attracting the Best Wealth, Prosperity, and Abundance in Your Life Now, Dr.
It's a 2-pager.
See. Yes.
She's doing things. It's a 2-pager.
Yes. Dr. White frequently travels across the country to speak or lead training workshops. If you would like to get in contact with Dr. White for her to come talk to you, if you just need some advice, which I think all of y'all do, you should contact her at area code 805-983-1150. Again, 805-983-1150. And she can also be reached at on all of her information at www.myfinancialhome.com. Again, www.myfinancialhome.com. Welcome again.
Thank you. Hi, ladies.
I know. This is awesome. Do you want me to do our next
Sure.
guest?
Yeah.
Okay. And along with Dr. White, I got to put my glasses on because I ain't pretending. We have a young entrepreneur. Shaiann Hogan is 14 years old and the founder and CEO of Shai's World. Shai's World is an indie nail polish company. It was launched in 2015 when Shai was a mere 10 years old. Nail polish is 100% vegan, cruelty-free, and is made without 5 toxic chemicals commonly found in other nail polishes, such as formaldehyde. Cheyenne mission is to inspire, elevate, and educate young girls that that they have a gift within. Within her business, she helps girls and women unwrap their gift while igniting self-confidence that they too can sparkle and shine. She's also a high school student, a lover of all things beauty, a go-getter, a kidpreneur, making an impact on the world. She has been on the Real TV, Harry TV, Good Morning Washington, Teen Boss magazine. She wants everyone to believe in the impossible. You can get more information and buy her products on www.shaisworld.com. And all this information will be on our website and all our social media platforms and on Facebook. So welcome to them both.
Yes, we're getting another big old round.
Hello.
Gonna do that there. I'm so excited. Okay, so first of all, I'm so excited to talk to Shaiann because you know me and my nail polish.
I know.
My nail polish, my nails.
She is a nail aficionado.
I have a little bit of maybe problem.
Yes, I
don't know.
think so. I would say
I like being creative with my nails, and so I did kind of do the natural vegan route for a second, but I couldn't give up my designs. I love for people to be creative with my nails, but we'll talk about all that
in a minute.
In a second.
So
yes,
I want to jump right in with the planning, and I want to welcome you because, well, first of all, you have a new book.
Yes, I do. Unveiling the Mask.
Unveiling the Mask. Is that it?
This is actually the book. Yes.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, and we can find that.
Want to put that up here?
Yes, let's put that there. Where can we get the book?
The book is on Amazon.com, or if you want an autographed copy, you can head over to unveilingthemask.com.
So unveilingthemask.com.
Okay.
All right, perfect. And it's on Amazon. And tell us a little bit, like a little wrap up.
Absolutely. One thing that's good, this is Domestic Violence Month. And in the book, Unveiling the Mask, the title, I talk about my story. I talk about my story of domestic violence, going through a marriage filled with abuse, drugs, and basically how I lost it all and how I was able to recover. So in the recovery period, I talk about the steps that I went through as far as getting my life back together, getting back on track. And it's really a guide, a book for anyone who is not just going through domestic violence, but anything. You know, life happens. So that's what the book is about. You know, we talk about personality traits, we talk about emotional spending, we talk about putting your roadmap together for spending. We talk about a gamut of things, life insurance, wills, trust. And there's also a chapter dedicated to domestic violence. What do you do if you're going through it? How to identify it, how to seek help, and so on and so
financially
forth.
Too, because I feel like a lot of people stay in domestic violence situations because it's like a financial jail that you're in. You know, that's very scary, and I think that's one of the motivating factors why people are afraid to get out of it. I mean, it's not the only one. But I think that's a really big contributor.
I'm just going to do a technical. I'm going to switch seats with you because I want people to see your face because they're only seeing your side.
Absolutely.
And they see me all the time. So just grab your glass.
Yes, but this Unveiling the Mask book is this going to be a more personal story, would you say? Then you said it was about is the whole entire thing about your whole journey? It
is a personal story, and it just talks about that portion of my life. There's so much to me, as there's so much to all of us, but it talks about that portion of my life and really how I was able to bounce back. And the steps that I took to bounce back.
And were you still in the financial planning world while all of this was happening?
I was still working in corporate. I've worked in corporate for 20 years in the finance area, in treasury. And it talks about how I actually lost my job, going through the divorce, you know, the steps that how I lost it. You know, and how I ended up on welfare.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we have got
how
to
I ended
read
up
this
on
book.
welfare,
That's
and how I bounced back.
I think that's so important because here it is, you coming from the financial world, having all this education, having all this knowledge, and it still happened to you.
It can happen to anyone. You know, domestic violence doesn't have a race, a color, a creed. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter if you're male, female. It can happen. And when we talk about finances, financial abuse occurs day in, day out, and that's just, you know, someone having power over the other person and not allowing them to have access to funds. You know, and that's why so many men and women, but mainly our women, stay in these relationships because they can't come out. They don't know how they're going to make it. And so,
Well, that in itself is a show.
Yeah,
that's a whole separate
this
show.
sounds like a very inspiring
yes,
book.
I
So
am going
would
to
love
get that book.
read this, and we would love to have you
Yeah,
come back
'cause
and really
that's-
talk about it in depth because
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
powerful. So I'm just going to jump right in.
yes.
So
Jump.
okay,
for
so
it.
obviously you know that the lottery was yesterday, or yesterday.
Yesterday.
Today's
Last
Wednesday.
night.
Today,
Last
yeah,
night,
Tuesday. So somebody either North or South Carolina won the lottery,
The big, big
$1.6
one.
billion. But about 5 people in the LA, around the LA area, San Bernardino, won over $500,000.
Yes.
What is your first initial, let's say you won $500,000 or $1.6 billion. What would you
I can't even
advise
think
them
about
to
that.
do
Like,
right away?
Immediately. So if you won the lottery, any of us won the lottery, or those that have won the lottery, the very first thing you need to do is make sure that you make a photocopy of that ticket. Put it in a safe place. Make sure that you didn't transpose any numbers or hear any numbers incorrectly.
Okay.
Once you've made that copy of that lottery winning, you put it in a safe place, then you want to start gathering your team.
Okay.
Who should be on your team?
And
you
you
need
need a
to
team.
ensure a team.
And when
want-
what do you mean by a team?
I'm gonna.
Okay, I'm
You
sorry.
want to ensure
See, I'm
that you
trying
have
to
a
do this and to this, and
tax
I'm-
attorney. You want to identify
Okay.
a
Yes.
financial planner, a certified financial planner, and you also want to identify a CPA firm or CPA. The reason why you want those three, because you want someone who can handle the funds. First thing individuals do, most of us, and I say me, myself as well, is we go out and we tend to splurge. So you don't want to do that. You also, if you have a JOB, if you have a job,
Keep your job.
keep your job.
Yep, that's what everybody
Keep your job
says.
for at least 6 weeks until everything is set
$1.6
up.
billion person is really keeping his job.
Well, you know what? No, because and I don't mean to interrupt, but I heard on the radio that more people lose that money than they do because they don't know, because they start spending it right away.
Exactly.
They're like, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to buy this house. I'm going to buy this boat. I'm going to fly all over the world. I'm going to give somebody this money, and then because you have to pay taxes. That's what people don't realize.
Yes.
Of that 1.6 billion, I heard, and you can correct me, you're only going to get, if you take a buyout, and it's still a lot of money,
Percent or 70%.
only 400.
You're going to get about half of what the jackpot is. So
Yeah.
if it's 10 million, you're getting 5.
Right.
After you pay taxes on that, you're getting about 3 million.
Yes!
So yes, it sounds a lot, but it starts out at 10
The
and then
real
it dwindles
numbers.
down to
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
But
million.
can't we just go buy a new pair of shoes?
You can buy a pair of shoes. Maybe you can buy a couple of pair of shoes, but but when you start buying a pair of shoes for all of us in the room and then
Right,
the neighbors
yeah,
and so on and
yeah,
so
yeah.
forth.
I'm just saying, like,
then-
you can go out and celebrate, like, go get a handbag or a pair of shoes. Or,
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
but because people don't realize
Don't
that's
go
not a
buy
real
the
number.
whole
The $1.6 billion is not a real
Right,
number.
right,
And the
right,
minute you spend $1, you're no longer a billionaire. The minute
Right.
so people don't realize that
Right.
logic.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
all
So the first thing we do is get our team together. You said a tax attorney, a certified financial planner, and because there are uncertified financial planners, is that
Right,
correct?
right. And a
And,
CPA.
and why do we need them to be certified as opposed to uncertified?
A certified is just more credentials behind them, really, and they probably have a little bit more knowledge, maybe a little bit more years of experience. So you do want to get that certified individual, and then a CPA. The tax attorney, you want to get that tax attorney for the legal reasons, the contracts and whatnot, because believe me, you're going to have to learn how to say no. You know, you need to change your phone number.
Oh, wow.
You need
Well,
to
that's good
change your
advice.
address, maybe do a P.O. box, things like that, because
Oh.
everyone's gonna know. Okay, Cozette White won the lottery.
They'll look
Yeah,
you
right.
up.
They're gonna look you up. Your phone's gonna start ringing. You're gonna start getting the solicitation
Everybody's gonna have a need.
mail, and life is gonna change for you immediately. Over just in that moment, life is gonna change.
Yeah.
So you need to just make sure that you set yourself up.
And, and also, I want to ask you this. Would you recommend that these people that you're putting in place, that you are paying, and these are paying services that you are going to have to pay these people? You're going to have to pay the tax attorney. You're going to have to pay the financial planner. They get a little piece, and the CPA is going to cost some money as well. Would you advise that they be third-party people? Like, I understand your cousin or your cousin's friend or your sister's brother might be one of these things, but I personally, my thing would be, let's just bring it away. Let's just make it a third party and keep it all nice and clean. That way it doesn't get all mucky and muddled. What do you think about
I would
that?
say it really depends. I would just say make sure that you have an entrusted person, someone that you've done a little bit of research. They've come to you either by recommendation, you've done your homework and looked them up and, did your homework. I personally, as you said, I probably would steer away from the personal friends because it could, it really depends. It depends on the
And my thing is-
relationship.
and I say that personally because you're paying these people for a service. This is your money. You're paying them. And if they're not doing the service for you, if you're not happy with them, you have the right to fire them. Like you can get rid of them. And it's kind of hard to do that when you have that kind of bond and personal connection. So that's my personal advice. I always feel like it's best to go as far away. And then if I don't like you, you're not doing your job, then you can keep it moving.
Right, and there's that thing, don't put all the eggs in one basket and separate things, so just keep that in mind too. And the other key thing, make sure they're a service, you're paying based on a service fee, not just, a commission, so to speak.
Gotcha.
That's a key thing as well. So,
Very good advice for any of you lottery winners out there.
and
I
then,
wish you all
the
the
question
best.
came up the other day, I'm going to toss this out, do I take a lump sum or do I take a payment over
I would do a
couple years?
payment. What do
So,
you suggest?
I personally, let's look at it like this. You're going to be paying taxes on that $5 million. You got 10, you're paying taxes on 5. Either you're going to pay taxes now when the tax rate is lower, or you're going to pay it over a 20 and 30 year period when the tax rate is higher.
Right.
So myself,
Take it
I
now.
never had the $3 million, so I'd probably just go ahead and take the 5, pay the taxes on that, invest, and live comfortably off of that.
Yeah.
Yes, the annual payments, that sounds great because I know I'm going to get a lump sum of money every year, but I'd rather just have it all, allow it to invest the way that I want to and accumulate and do the compound interest.
But I
That's
think-
just
I
a
think
personal opinion.
I think everyone should do also what's best for them. And I think maybe, I don't know who would be a good person, maybe a CPA, sit down and talk to them about it, because it might work out. People might need that more structure of like, okay, I know I'm going to have X amount of dollars. I know I'm going to be guaranteed $500,000 every year, and this is what I have to work with. For someone who doesn't have a team already or doesn't understand about investing and understanding how you can make $3 million work for you and live off of the interest. So maybe I think it just depends on your situation.
Age also plays a factor in it, and so you got to take that into consideration. And a lot of what I hear is that I don't want them to hold on to my money. Two things you have to remember. Yes, if you take the annual payments, there could be a situation whereby the lottery doesn't have that money. Something happens and they, there's also in some states, depending on where you win the lottery, that should someone die, you can't pass that over to your beneficiaries. So it depends on the state in which you win the lottery, and it also depends on the type of lottery that you're playing. So those are the fine prints that you need to
so
kind
that
of
makes a big difference.
Money comes in.
Exactly.
So so that decision doesn't have to be made the minute you're a winner, correct? So do they give you like a minute to say, okay, you have a week to decide whether you want to do this, take a lump sum?
I'm sure there's a window of opportunity. I haven't won the jackpot just yet.
Not yet.
But I'm sure that there is a window of
I
opportunity
know.
where you have to say, this is what I'm opting in for.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost sure.
Okay. So I want to go right into our economy. Mm-hmm. And so we have a new administration, according to all that they have said, is that the jobs are, there are more jobs. I don't know what kind of jobs, but there are more jobs. People are working.
Well, the unemployment rate is, it's
dropping.
not as high as it was. So yes.
So is the economy improving? Is it getting better? Are we seeing the money in our paychecks? Is everybody getting a little bit richer and the world is just kumbaya?
Well, I don't know if the world is getting a little bit richer, but supposedly folks are taking home a little bit more on their paychecks this year in 2018. Will they see an impact when it comes to tax season? On the flip side, will they be paying more in taxes? That's something to be seen. We're approaching 2019 tax season, so we will see. But the economy is stronger than it has been in the past years. But I think we're approaching the retail season, the shopping season, and we are supposedly going to see more spending this season.
Yeah. Do you think that increase that has increased in people's paychecks? Do you think that's going to give them a false sense of, I have some money to spend. I have a lot of, and people might go a little extra?
I don't think so. Realistically speaking, when we talk about the increase, folks are only receiving maybe anywhere from maybe $20 to $70 more, depending on your pay scale. Okay. So it's not something to go home and celebrate, so to speak.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's a week of Starbucks. Yeah. So what do you think? What are I would say the top two mistakes top three mistakes we're making with our money right now?
Yeah. We're not planning appropriately. We're not planning. We're just operating off the pants of the seat. We're not putting plans in place. We're not watching our spending. We are not investing. We're afraid to invest. And one more, just poor planning, really. Poor planning. It starts with the planning. Okay. And I think in speaking with clients and in speaking with other in the industry, when we talk about planning can really save you. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to talk about it from a tax strategy. Mm-hmm. I have a couple of business owners, and they have a couple of different businesses. And I was explaining to them how they can set each business up separately rather than operate them as one business. If business A has a loss, you can carry that loss for year number 1. If business 2 has a gain, then you can carry business 2 as a gain, and business number 3, maybe it flip-flops. But with those 3 businesses, somehow, if you're doing proper tax planning, maybe you can dump some of those expenses into another one and show this one that has continuously had a loss. It has to show a gain at some point, or else the IRS is going to say, this is a hobby. We're going to disallow. So it's strategy and planning is where we all need to be. And not just putting the numbers on a sheet of paper and thinking, oh, I did a strategy session. I played around with my budget. Put the budget together, but continuously look at it. You said the $20, $70, that's a week's worth of Starbucks. It is, but realistically speaking, that's not where we're losing the money, or that's not where the money leaks are. There's other things that we as consumers, we as individuals, we as taxpayers can do for tax planning. Even strategies for 401k. Putting more into the 401k versus, because it's pre-tax, versus paying more on the back end. It depends on your age. It depends on if you're in retirement. It depends on if you're self-employed. There's a lot, but sit down with a qualified individual. You know what I'm saying? Where you say, well, where are the 3 steps where we're not doing what we should with our funds.
And
so let's say, okay, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I'm glad that you brought up 401k, because I know that we had let you know that we wanted to talk about life insurance. And it's odd, it came up in I was probably saying the last couple 5 days. I've been reading a few things online, and I heard some things online that I thought was very interesting, and I wanted to ask you about it, because there was an interview/report that I was reading, and a certified financial advisor planner, I think she was talking about explaining the difference to people and encouraging them to put their money in this life insurance. And I don't remember if it was whole or if it was term.
It's got to be whole life.
Instead of your 401k. And when I heard that, I thought, oh, I don't know. Like, that made me a little nervous. It was interesting what she had to say, and I appreciated the viewpoint. And she did say, in full disclosure, that if your company was not matching your 401k, and I do agree, that she was basically like, your 401k is like a trap. And I thought, oh my God, this is like very interesting information, and kind of different as to what I've been taught or heard. So I wanted to get your take on it. Are there 2 different types of life insurance, or 3 different types of life
There's
insurance?
Really 3. So we're going to talk about the 2 today. We're going to talk about term, and we're going to talk about whole.
And what's the third one?
Universal.
Okay.
So when we talk about term, just think of it. It is a term, 20-year, 30-year term life. And you're just paying basically for life insurance. Right. Should something happen to you, your family is covered. You're paying for insurance. Just like we pay for automobile insurance, we're just paying for protection. Term life insurance is a lot cheaper than the whole life, and we'll talk about whole life in a moment, but it's easier to get as far as the qualifications. You don't have to go through the stringent physical and whatnot. So it's easier to get. You're going to pay a $20, $30
my husband
payment.
Go through a physical.
On the term? And
blood
he probably,
work, urine, all that.
Yeah, he probably did. But on the whole life is where you can, you're going to pay more. The premium is definitely going to be more. Okay. It could be in, hundreds of dollars. let's say a little over 100. So it really depends on your age. But with the whole life, it allows you to do some investment. It allows you to create assets. It allows you to be putting money away, and if you want to pull that money out at some future date, cash out, then you can. But it's still an insurance plan. But on each of these plans, you need to make sure that you're reading the fine print, because on each of them there's clause such as, if you were to pass, then we won't pay out the first 2 years. So in anything that you do, you need to make sure that you're reading the fine print.
Yes.
The whole life, there's a lot of different fine prints in there. The riders, a lot that we sometimes don't take the time to read. We just sign our name on the dotted line because the paperwork is put in front of us. But ask questions. Ask the questions.
Are there different, would there be different fine print for whoever's writing up that?
No, because it's
It's
overseen
all
by.
Okay, so it's just one. You just
Yes.
need to understand all of the fine print.
You need to
'cause wherever
understand.
you go and get it from, it's probably going to be about the same.
It should be the same, but keep in mind each state may be a little different. I'm not a licensed insurance broker, so I don't know that part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was going to say, when you mentioned being able to pull it out, you can pull it out at no tax. Is that correct? Am I understanding it correctly? That's what she was kind of explaining. Is that like, say you get sick, say, God forbid, you have an accident or you are diagnosed with cancer. That
It's
apparently
tax-free.
It's tax-free. You can pull it out tax-free.
It's
as
tax-free.
opposed to pulling it out of your 401k, where they're going to tax you if you are before the age of 59.
That is correct. Now, let's talk about that, because you can pull out of your 401k if you're pulling out as a loan.
Right.
There are some 401k plans where you can pull out a loan, and as long as you are still employed with the organization, then the IRS will not know that you pulled that money out, because you're repaying that money back. You're
To yourself,
repaying
right.
your loan each pay period. However, the caveat is, if you were to leave that employer, then they would tax you for whatever that loan balance is.
Okay.
So you can have a loan, 2 years, and then in year 3 you leave the organization. That third year, if you still have a balance, that's when you're going to.
Will you be taxed on the whole amount?
You will be taxed on the balance, whatever the
balance.
balance is. Yes.
Interesting. So, in your advice, I mean, do you? How do you feel? What is there any kind of advice that you can give to people? Say they are in a job where their 401k, they have the ability to contribute to a 401k, but the employer is not matching. Is whole life insurance something that we should think about and seek out to get? And is it good for young people?
I would say it's definitely something to seek out. Again, as I said moments ago, just keep in mind, whole life, the monthly premium is going to be more expensive than the term. And when times get hard, that's one of the first things that go away is the life insurance. People will let it go. So the purpose of getting the life insurance is insurance. And also, here's the other thing that I want to share, and I did not say this. A lot of the rich, I'm going to say the rich, or those that
Wealthy.
are in wealthy, they ensure that they have a whole life insurance. They are in a position to set their young ones up for if something should happen. We're setting a legacy. We're leaving money for you already. So to answer your question directly, I would definitely say yes to getting a whole life insurance, but it really depends on if one can afford it. It could be 120, it could be 130, it could be 140. It depends on one's age. It depends on how much the life insurance value is. If it's $500,000, $1 million, it really depends. There's a lot of determining factors, but I would definitely say yes. Now on the 401k side, what I used to see when I was in corporate America is a lot of the top executives, they would use that 401k as a fund where they would do projects. They would pull out and know that they could continuously pay that loan back through payroll without any penalties. They were paying themselves out. So there's pros and cons.
Well,
but
you
if
need
your
a
employer
CPA
is
for
not
all that hot
matching,
mess, 'cause
if your employer is not matching,
Right.
then you're just really It's a benefit, but it's not
It's
a
not,
significant
yeah,
benefit.
because,
You're
yeah.
just saving on a pre-tax basis. That's it.
Right.
They're not matching.
So we
It's not
want you-
accumulating.
We want you to
as quickly.
save, and we understand that it's easy to do it because I feel like they get you because it's easy to just hear. Okay, fine, I'll sign up for it to take it out of my paycheck. But what I would encourage everyone to do is to do your homework. Like, let's do your homework. I wanted to get those terms out there: whole life insurance and term life insurance. For you to do your research and look up the information for yourself and educate yourself and see what's best for you. Because I think that's the problem, is that we don't talk about it. We're not, if I mean, my family didn't have any life insurance. I got life insurance later in my late 30s, and I didn't really know the difference. And now I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to go back to the drawing board.
Right. And one other thing I want to talk about, when you said that your parents didn't talk about that, keep in mind that some organizations have the insurance, life insurance policies for the employees. That life insurance policy is only as good while you're there at the employer.
Yeah, it's not,
Once you leave, if they give you your pink slip, if you term, whatever, you don't have life insurance. And if you walk out of that employer tomorrow and something should happen to you, then your family is not covered. So just keep that in mind as well. And there's, again, the fine print. And most employers do not share the, I'm going to say the cover sheet. They don't share the terms and whatnot with you. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot. That's a lot of information, but hey, you know how to reach her if you want further information. And Shaiann, as you're sitting here and you're listening to all this, and as a business owner, have you thought about these things? I mean, I know how old are you now?
14.
14.
Yeah.
Have you thought about like where your money's going? How's it setting up? Or do you have help?
I have thought about it because I keep telling my parents, like, by 18, I want to have my own place. So, like, I have thought about, like, where I want my money to go and, like, how I want to use it. So, like, that's one thing that I have thought about.
Okay,
Very
so
good.
I want to know.
Go ahead.
How did you get inspired to do this nail line? What happened in your little mind at 10 when you said, "I want to do nails,
I want to
do it in a healthy way"?
10, everybody.
It started off as me and my friends. I was doing a makeup video, and then I sent it to them on my iTouch, like when I was younger.
Wait, you did a makeup video at 10?
Yeah. Or I think it was younger, probably.
Oh,
so then,
wow.
My mom seen it on the iTouch, and she was like kind of mad because it was in her makeup. So then,
like a mother.
Yeah. So then, of course, like she took my iTouch, and then she got like really mad. But then she like kept watching the video, and she was like, "Well, I think you should do something out of it, since like I keep doing some like stuff about beauty." So then I decided to do nails because like that's what I always got done. Like that was just my regular. I always got my feet and my nails done.
Right.
So yeah.
But what made you say, okay, I want to do a nail polish line that's chemical free, toxic?
For the toxic free, it was because my grandma, we call her nanny, but my nanny, she was a 2-time cancer survivor. So it like made, so yeah.
Wow.
So you were trying to be more conscious of it. Very good. Fantastic.
Wow. And how did you raise capital, which is a business term, for your company? Like, where did you get your resources?
Let's kind of walk us through. So you start at 10, you do a video, and then what do you do? After the video, and you're like, and your mom was like, you should do something with this.
So after I figured out what I wanted to do with it. My mom, she helped me do research since she had her own business. So like I just learned from her failures. So like
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I love it.
Walking in her shoes.
Yeah, she like showed me like what I need to research and like how I should be doing it and like, what I need to know about it. So then like that's where my research became. And then by the age of like probably around 13, she noticed that like I was really getting into my business. Like it was more, she noticed how like passionate I was. So then by my birthday 14, we had a package change.
Okay.
So yeah.
So were you already doing the nail polish?
Yeah, I was already doing it. We just changed our packaging for it.
Very good, very good.
And so did you write this book?
No, it's me and a group of other entrepreneurs. Like we're all collaborated into one, and we all explain like about our business or like a piece and like a nitpick about like
So it's called The Science Behind It, Formulating Success at Any Age. Shame on those of you who are sitting at home still trying to figure it out. Yeah. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely.
And then here is the nail polish. So so how do we find I love this. This is great. How do we find the nail polish?
It's at shaisworld.com.
So it's only e-commerce, like we only get it online.
Oh, or you could go to, we have 2 stores, one in Carpinteria called Seashore, and then the second one is in Culver City called All That and More Boutique.
Is that, and so are you wearing your own nail polish right now?
No, this is just a regular white color, like a regular white. I get my nails done tomorrow in the morning.
So do you take your nail polish to get your nails done?
She has like our whole collection of nail polish, so like we usually give her. So yeah.
Nice.
So you do have it in nail polish salons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's excellent. So how do you get to tell your friends or someone like Felicia who refuses? I mean, because just interestingly enough, I went somewhere to have a procedure done, and the lady looked at my feet, and she says, you have to be really careful with the nail polishes you put on your feet, on your toes, even on your hands, for those very same reason, for the chemicals. I mean, I know hairdressers are being careful with hair, stuff. So how do you get your girlfriends to buy into the idea this is the better nail polish for you?
Well, so like I usually go on Instagram to look up like the trends, so I see like which nail polishes, so I try to base it off of like what people are usually wearing, because a lot of vegan nail polishes, it's like not always all the colors, so I try to do it on like trending colors, so it's like it's like better, so like it like gives like it's good quality colors, and then it's vegan free, so it's like
where do you have it made? Like where's your product manufactured?
So it's basically, so it's manufactured, so we have our house, and then we have a back house, so it's like that's like our warehouse, so like that's where I make my nail polish.
So you do your own little like science? And
oh wow, and package it and everything?
That is fantastic. Okay, so what do you want to do after this?
Yeah. Or where do you see this going? Do you see this going somewhere? Do you have other aspirations?
I do see this going like into other nail salons. We want to try to get into Whole Foods, since it's like an all organic store, and like other nail salons, and then when I turn 16, hopefully I want to launch my lip gloss line, because like that's something that I always have is lip gloss.
Very good. So it's you're gonna stick with the beauty realm.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the beauty route.
And what have you done, or have you done anything in preparation? Like obviously your mother is kind of guiding you, but what kind of research did you do, or advice that you can give to anyone young that's out there that's listening, or a parent that's out there that has a young entrepreneur at home? Like, I know it has to come from you, but where did you start? How did you start with your research?
With my research, I actually started, like, I looked up on YouTube just how to make nail polish. So like I started with the cheap generic version, but then like I noticed, I was like, well, if I was to do this, like it would be kind of like I wouldn't be setting myself apart from anybody else.
Right.
So then I had to think about like what would I need to do. So then I had to look up like ingredients that go into nail polishes. I had to look up colors for nail polish, like where would I get my colors from. So like it honestly started on like how you want to see yourself as a business owner.
Do you have friends that help you, or
I have my best friends, like my super close friends, so yeah.
So how long is the shelf life on the nail polish?
Actually, we just like, you just have to keep it sealed, because like if it's open, of course, like everybody knows it's gonna get dried up, but yeah, it stays fresh like the whole time until like you either run out or it dries up.
Nice.
Yeah, very good. So it's not scary to turn to a vegan.
See, Felicia, look,
no,
they even
I
have
know.
the nice bright yellow. You can design. You can do designs.
My problem is that I think we need to get more nail artists on board with using it, because a lot of people in the nail industry, and I'm going to try to speak for y'all, don't hate me, but from what I've understood is that they complain about using regular nail polish because it's not as easy to do when you do art. Yeah, because when you do gel, it's easy, dries real quickly, and then you can move on to the next. But we all know that UV isn't great, so everybody, you need to be aware that you use an LED light and all that other kind of stuff. But then what about the financial part of it? Like what about like the, I don't know, I want to say the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s about it. Like, if I was talking to my son about it, he'd be like, oh, starting a business is great, but if I got to learn something, like I got to figure it out, I got to do math, please. It would stop right there. So was that like daunting to you? Were you excited about that?
It wasn't really like daunting, because the one thing about me, like, I love math. Like, math is me. Like, it's just math and science.
Fantastic.
But the English and the social studies, like, I try and stay away from that. So my dad helped me with my finances since he is, like, he does math too. So he was the one who had to teach me, like, okay, you can't get 50% of your sales. You have to get 30% because you need a profit margin to, like, to put your product. I mean, to put, like, your profit. Your profit is going to go to yourself, but then the extra money that you have is going to go to your business, so you can buy more supplies, pay off your insurance for your company. So then I had to learn that, and then I had to understand from my 30%, I have to put some aside for my own, like, my personal account. So I have to save money for my personal account and then have money to just have for me.
Fantastic.
Now, how much of this takes up your time?
It doesn't really take up much of my time because it's like I make enough so I could just take it off. Like, I pull off the shelf and I just pour up a bottle. So it doesn't take much time unless it's like I need to make a bulk load. But otherwise, it doesn't really take much time for me.
Now, how often do you make new colors?
So we do it by seasons, or sometimes, like, for this month we had a pop-up color of Rochelle, my grandma's name. So it was like a pink color for breast cancer. So, like, sometimes we have pop-up colors, like, for Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day. But we do it every season. We have 5 new collections.
Fantastic.
So can you have gel colors with, or is that?
You can. It's called the gel bottle. It's like a base that you put on top of, like, a polish to make it gel.
Interesting.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give her as an up-and-coming entrepreneur, kidpreneur?
I love
who
that term.
has this, the business has so much potential to grow and grow and grow because she has all these different, lanes to go into.
I think I would share with Shaiann is to diversify. If she's going to stay in the beauty industry, she said she wanted to go into the lip gloss. Just diversify, and there's so many avenues in the beauty industry, and she doesn't even have to stay with the cosmetics. She can even jump to the retail, the clothing side as well, and just make it a full look, and maybe at some point clothes, maybe a line, a T-shirt that goes along with it.
Wow,
some
she's
cute
wearing
little
one right
pants.
now. She got one on right now.
And it's Shai's world for sure.
Yeah.
Not just, the look, the nails, the beauty,
A
the
whole
eyes.
brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
A whole brand.
Yes. And I think that, yes.
Yeah,
That
I was
is-
going to ask if that's something that's your aspiration to do, to, like, later on down the line, because I know, I'm not going to give anybody any credit, but I know that there is another nail polish line that is similar. And I felt were kind of ingenious. They opened up their own nail shop, and they use their own nail polish exclusively. And I'm like, that is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, we're not trying to sell to everybody else. We're going to do it here. We're going to keep it in-house. And I mean, it's a niche, but it's working.
She could take it in so many different avenues. I mean, she could start opening up, different franchises of Shai's World, the salons, the nail salons, have her product in there and other beauty products in there, incorporate the side that her mom does and just bring that in as a full house salon, a spa.
Full service.
Being a whole force to
One
be
stop.
reckoned with.
Yes. It could go a lot of different ways.
Do you know other kidpreneurs?
I just know of 2, and they're in the entertainment industry. They're younger, they're younger.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Well, 10. If you start at 10,
I
I'm
know.
like, what? Who does that?
Yes.
They're like 3 and 5.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
But those are the kids, I think, like those brilliant minds
Yes.
or prodigies or just highly gifted, and they come up
Yes.
with this. And they have, you love math, which is also a part of the process of, being in a business. You got to know the numbers. You
Yeah.
can't just be creative and not know your numbers.
And so, speaking of education, learning and moving forward, what are you going to major in something, like, when you go to college, and, like, what are those plans and stuff like that?
When I get older, I want to be a RN nurse, and then I want to do real estate. So those are 2 things. But then right now, I'm trying to look into stocks.
Okay.
So yeah.
Girl,
are
you
you-
are
There you
just
go.
on it.
There you go.
Building
I
it
love
right
it.
now to be able to fuel
Yeah.
your the goals for the future.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That is just
Yeah.
beautiful.
And I think the stocks right now, that's great because, you know, many women, many people in general, they shy away from stocks and
Yeah.
learning stocks.
It's
They
a
don't
little
want
scary.
to invest, but great, young lady, great.
Yes.
Oh my God! So congratulations,
Yes,
that's
we are so
amazing.
happy
I am
for
going to
you.
order
So
them.
excited.
I'm going to order the colors, all of them,
Yes.
and I'm going to put them in a gift bag, and I'm going to give them to Felicia, who goes across the ocean to get her nails done. But before we run out of time, I just want to ask you one quick question, Cozette. What do you think we should be doing at this moment right now with our finances at the end of the year? Like, what should people be?
Well, after his story, geez,
I know.
I feel like I need to do some research.
I
I'm
know
like,
we
we're
need
slacking.
to. I know we're like slackers
Yes.
compared to Shai. Yeah,
Yes,
like
we are.
Well, we are maybe a little over 60 days, maybe let's say 75 days away from the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think we need to start looking at last minute tax strategies. You know, if
Okay.
you're getting those bonuses, think about, are you going to take the full bonus? Are you going to put some away? Maybe because let's face it, the tax law went into effect January 2018.
Right.
This year is going to be
So
a
interesting.
different tax
Yes.
season for
Yes.
all of us.
Yes.
And so if you haven't been planning, you get that bonus, put some away, put some extra away because you may end up owing the Internal Revenue Service or any state agency as well. If you're a business owner, look at making sure that, you know, maybe if you are trying to do tax defer, and when I say tax defer, not show as much income, maybe start paying your vendors more. Pay your vendors. Don't hold on to
Debt.
those invoices. No, not the debt. Just, you know, maybe you had a huge profit this year, so
Share the wealth.
pay the vendors early. But on the flip side, if you had a loss, maybe hold off. Well, you're gonna hold off on saving or paying your vendors because you don't have the resources. But those are just a few. I know I didn't name a lot, but those are just quickly few.
And really quickly, like for someone like Shai, who's, you know, very well invested and in this world of business, because this is not just, oh, I'm putting some nail polish out there, but she's in business. How do we inspire other young people to think about, you know,
Going
their
into
money
business for yourself,
differently?
yeah.
Because she has to think about her money too.
Yeah.
Is that a question for
Yeah,
me? Oh, I would say if you have an idea, youngsters, the young ones out there, if you have an idea, go with it. If and I'm not sure how you raised your capital to get going. If it was, you know, your parents that help you. If it was, I'm not sure exactly how that started, but just go with the idea. There's plenty of individuals out there that can help you. There's investors out there that can help you. There's angel investors. There's a number of different people that can help. And one thing about us as adults, we love to see the youth succeeding. We love, if you have an idea, to take it and run with it. And most of us, if we're in a situation where we can help you financially, we will definitely go the arm's length to help you get your business up and running. I mean, this book in itself, all of those authors that decided to collaborate and put the book together.
It's
Great.
all these amazing people back here. It's amazing.
That's so fantastic.
In the year, powerful, start the new year off running.
What advice would you give a young person who wants to start a business?
I would tell them to honestly, like, don't discount, like, what you think, because, like, nail polish, I didn't think I would make it this far because so many people are in the beauty industry.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't discount, like, what your dream is, like, still achieve it.
That's
Fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
goodness, how
great.
exciting. I'm so proud of you. It's so
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you. Yes.
Yes.
So I just have one question. How do you balance the two? I know that you were asked, does this take a lot of your time? How do you balance the school and the business?
Well, right now, since I do independent studies, it's not, like, really that difficult. But then, so it's not difficult with my business, but probably balancing, like, my friends and then doing my business gets, like, kind of frustrating because, like, sometimes I have to actually do, like, what I have to do for my business. So I have to, like, cancel plans. So it's, like, it's kind of difficult
And they have to
sometimes.
understand.
Yeah, because since I'm in independent studies, it's, like, just me, so I can't really see them on the daily.
Right.
So it's, like, only my only time to see them is the weekend. So then when I have my weekends taken, it's like, yeah.
There's sacrifice. There's
Yeah,
sacrifice in any startup and any business. But congratulations on doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's,
Yes.
you should be very,
Congratulations.
very, very
Yes,
proud.
and
This was
you're a
awesome.
very proud
Yay!
mommy,
So the
too.
next time you do lip gloss, you got to come back with your lip gloss. We got to have you back to talk about this book because I have a million
and
questions.
I want to talk about the new tax season too. One thing that I was
Oh,
going to
Lord
say when
Jesus,
you were
fix
saying
it.
what are the things that you should do, I would say get yourself an accountant.
Yeah.
I mean, just for at
Oh
least
my
this
God.
first this first tax season with the new laws, I mean, just bite the bullet, do it, start looking for them now, because listen, come January, they're going to be hopping.
Yep.
Not only that, and you just brought up another thought, is for our business owners, it's the end of October, you all. Please, 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 I'm going to beg you, please start getting your books in order, those of you who don't do them on a monthly basis, because when the doorbell starts ringing in January, we are bombarded. Save yourself some money, save yourself the hassle. Start right now getting your books in balance, making sure that come December 31st or January, you have a P&L that you can turn over to your tax accountant to get things done. 1099s are due a lot earlier. Save you some headache and save us some headache. They are due January 31st. And as you know, for all of our business owners,
don't I know it?
For all of our business owners, when January 1 rolls around, everyone begins to scramble. So my advice, start right now, today.
Today.
All right.
That's
Ooh,
it, guys.
that was good. That was a lot. That was
Yes.
a lot. Thank you, Dr. White, Cozette White,
You're
for always
welcome.
being a friend of our show and coming and bringing
You are
and just
welcome.
dropping
Wealth
all
of
this
information.
information. I know. I
Yes.
feel like we have to pay her something at the end of the show. And Shai, congratulations. We're just waiting and expecting more
Great
amazing
things.
things out of you, because I know you are a very talented and smart young lady. And we're proud to have you on our show. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome anytime.
Yes, we're going to keep tabs on her.
Yes.
So we want to thank our viewing and listening audience for joining us today. We hope you've been informed, educated, and entertained. Catch us next Monday. We have a fantastic show.
Another great show.
Another great
Get on
show.
that newsletter.
Yes, join that newsletter. Subscribe. Don't forget, and you'll find out who it is. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great rest of the week. Bye.
You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.